Welcome back to another exciting episode of the No Limits Life podcast, where we celebrate purpose, passion, and the people who dare to live beyond the ordinary. Before we jump into today's show, let's start with a quote from today's No Limits Life 60 Seconds Daily Boost. Creativity is the voice of the soul. When you follow it, you don't just create music or art, you create connection, meaning, and movement. And today's guests are the embodiment of that creative spirit. They are musicians, artists, collaborators, and brothers, literally mirror identical twins who have not only shared a lifelong bond, but also a passion for music, cars, and crafting something unique in every area of life. Nick Quillows is a driving force behind the band Alien Atmosphere, a dynamic group that has captivated audiences with energetic performances and heartfelt songwriting. Alongside him, his twin brother, Matt, and together they're not just creating music, they're building atmosphere, energy, and connection. They're currently working on new music and evolving their sound even further. But beyond the stage lights, they share a love for fitness, restoring classic cars, airsoft, gaming, and just living life with full throttle passion. Nick and Matt, welcome to the No Limits podcast. We're excited to have you on the show today.
It's also kind of special that you're my two boys out of three. The oldest one's not here, but my twins are here. Mirror identical twins, by the way.
That is true.
Yeah,
yes,
thanks for having us.
Yeah.
So we're very excited. We want to hear your blend of creativity, brotherhood, and just raw passion.
And before we dive in, Nick, that quote started with, "Creativity is the voice of the soul." How does that resonate with you and your journey with music and life?
Well, when I'm creating music, a lot of times I'm just chasing like a feeling. There's been times where I've shared new ideas with very, very good musicians, and even our good friend CJ Abraham, and it just doesn't make sense. Sometimes it doesn't make sense, but there's a feeling with that song, and I guess you could say music is what feelings sound like. That's the only way I could really describe
Beautiful,
it. You're chasing
beautiful.
a feeling. Our music's actually hit all corners of the world, and we got a friend, his name is Mike. We've been friends for like 6-7 years now, and he caught wind of our song Sail Away, and he told me that the song saved his life. And so I was on the treadmill doing some cardio, and I thought of this quote: "A good melody can save a life, but a great song can save the world." And so we actually threw
That's
that quote
beautiful.
in the
That's
beginning
beautiful.
of
Yeah.
Sail Away
Yeah,
for a music video.
How about you, Matt?
As far as creativity and music, well, it's a little different for, I guess, being a drummer. I guess you're more of the tempo and like the backbone of everything, and we're a two-piece band. Most people think, you might have 4 band members or 5 band members, but for me, I just like Nick said, it's more of a feeling. But for drumming, it's more of like a barbaricness. It's very different than like singing or doing melodies. It's got like a barbaric feeling where you're just hammering the heck out of the drums, but you're keeping the tempo. You're having a good time, and especially on stage, people can see that. But I don't know. It's definitely a massive feeling in a good way. It's like a endorphin rush. When you play and you perform and you write something really meaningful, it's just it'll get stuck in your head for weeks.
Yeah, I can see that passion.
You know?
in both of you.
Yeah.
It emulates out of you. When I've seen you perform many times, and I can see that passion. People love you. They jump right and left and scream, and you bring some incredible energy. Ken.
Yes, Nordine.
Do you have a question?
I do have a question for you guys. Okay, so you guys, twins, mirror identical twins. First of all, what is a mirror identical twin exactly? Because that's just like kind of the most rare of all twins.
I guess we're identical, but mirror, I guess it refers to I'm right-handed, he's left-handed. So it's like we're looking in a mirror.
Yeah.
Okay, so how has that influenced your music and your creative process? I mean, how does that all tie into it?
I don't know if this is the right term. Is it telepathy?
Yeah, twins have a connection that most brother and sister or non-twin people don't have. Like if you're fraternal, I don't think they really have it, but I think you have to be identical. And it's just you have like these connection. Like when you don't even have to look like in the same direction. You have like a feeling. It's weird. Like sometimes I'll call him and I'll know he's sad or something.
Yeah,
right
we're like
away.
it's like a hive mind. Like
Yeah.
And I've known many twins, and some of them told me even when they traveled separately, they can be like in France and one in the U.S. They feel when they get sick, and it's passionate. It's amazing how that you're like one person in two.
That's what
exactly.
It feels like.
So like when we're writing music, it's more than cohesive. I don't know how to explain it.
So what's Mir all about? When you hear Mir twin, what is that?
I just always thought of it as me being right-handed and him being left-handed.
So wait, so you're okay. Wait, so let me get.
So it's like you looking at. It's like you're
Let me
looking
get
in a
this
mirror.
straight.
Raise your
So
arm.
Matt on the left, on my left, is left-handed, and Nick on the right is right-handed. Is that right?
Right.
Yep.
Got it.
Left.
Correct.
So
Correct. I get it.
what first pulled you into writing music, and what sparked the creation of Alien Atmosphere? What was that initial fire?
Well, Nick's the original songwriter here. He did some crazy stuff growing up with a good man named Teacher Bob, but you can tell him.
Yeah,
Tell him all the goods.
a really good guitar teacher. He's based up in Phoenix. His name's Bob Hermes.
Bob.
Teacher Bob, and
Teacher Bob.
that's what we called him.
Yeah.
And he showed me like all the ropes of how to songwrite and stuff, and I entered in a songwriting
How old
contest.
were you? How old were
I
you?
was like 14 maybe.
Actually, I just got to tell you, the best way to picture Teacher Bob, if you've ever seen Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny, think of Kyle Gass with Jack Black. He's Kyle Gass.
He's the real life college.
Yeah, I entered in a song contest and I ended up coming first place. I had no idea, and this was out of many artists, all different age ranges, going from like early teens to 40s, 50s, and I came first place. I couldn't believe it. So that was like a huge spark for me. Like, wow, I got something.
I know the feeling.
keep
Trust
rolling
me,
with
I
it.
know the feeling.
And then what inspired me to keep going was I did choir. I was totally against it, but my parents were like, Nick, you gotta do something. So joined choir, and I did some vocal lessons, and my choir teacher was nice enough to have me perform an original, which I don't know if anyone's done it ever since, but we did an original song, and I was able to teach the band and the choir and everything. So that was even a bigger stepping stone and more fuel to the fire. And once school kind of fizzled out and stuff, Matt and I, we wanted to keep making music, and we couldn't figure out like what was going on with the music industry at the time, because like it was when the folk boom came back again. You had Lumineers, Mumford & Sons, Philip Phillips. Like you just had so many big artists just like coming right out of the gate, all different types of music. And I was talking to my friend Robert, and I told him, I was like, I don't know what's going on. This is all uncharted territory. It's an alien atmosphere. And he was like, dude, that's the name of the group you got to do. So I told Matt that we're gonna run with Alien Atmosphere.
And Matt, where were you when he was competing in?
Yeah, when Nick was doing songwriting, because he did the songwriting contest, and I mean, it's crazy that you're competing against older people in their 30s and 40s, and he got first place, So I was like, I got to get my first place trophy, right? Anyway, it wasn't until later when I did bodybuilding, but when I was 14, I was just, I don't even think I was really playing drums a whole lot. Like I self-taught myself how to play drums. I had a teacher maybe for like a week, and I don't know, I was more of I shouldn't say visual, but as far as like the coordination goes with drumming, it was just it was hard because I wanted to play guitar first, and I ended up breaking the strings. So that's what happened. I broke them, and I was left-handed. But then my brain was weird because I wanted to use my right hand, because I guess with left-handed people, since we're Mir twins, I was more like ambidextrous. So when I play drums, I play open hand. So I lead with my left hand, but I use my right foot for the kick drum, which is. Some people think it's weird, but I personally think
I don't
it's
know
weird.
how many other drummers are doing open hand. Quite a few.
Yeah, I mean Neil from 3 Days Grace does, and he's great. So I just ended up playing drums at a younger age, like around when he was songwriting. After I broke the guitar strings, and then I just pursued fitness heavily because I really wanted to be a bodybuilder at that time, and I thought, well, if I could play drums and be shoved in the back, I want to look jacked. You know, I was like, if I'm in the back here, I got to look huge. You know, so that's what I was trying to do.
Yeah, yeah. And so you kind of created a synergy between your music and bodybuilding.
I did, yeah. It went hand in hand, to be honest, because with bodybuilding, it's like you're creating something that doesn't exist yet, and it's very similar to music.
And this is what I love about people who have multi passions, because mind you, you can have more than one passion. And people say, "Hey, go and get your passion," like we just are going to get one. How about multi passions? I know when I was competing and doing fitness and everything else, I love to write. So it's possible to have more than one passion.
Yep.
And equally following that passion.
Yeah.
Having the same kind of energy, the same kind of focus.
Yep. You just channel that energy. Yeah.
So if you're limited to one passion and you think you can have another one, of course.
That's very true.
We're going to just really quickly, we're going to watch, 30 seconds of your music video called Believe. And what's really cool about that song is we chose that, and there's a group of people that actually chose it out of different songs that we could choose from. And we are going to have that as our intro and outro of each one of these podcasts every day.
Wow.
So, I thought it'd be really cool if our viewers could check out the music video. And then, of course, they can always go online. Where would they find that online?
Just YouTube, Alien Atmosphere, Believe. Just search that and it'll pop up. Or if you just type in Alien Atmosphere, Believe on Google, it'll show up on there and you can stream it on Spotify or any one of those,
Here it is.
All you gotta do is follow your heart. All you gotta do is follow your heart. All you gotta do is follow. All you gotta do is follow your heart. Oh, I believe. Oh, I believe that the world will change for you and me.
Okay, we're back. All right, here's the deal. We talked about your music, okay? But you guys have a lot, like Nordine was saying, there's a lot of other things that you do and you have passions about. And I know one of your top passions after music, or almost as equal to it, is cars and classic cars.
Yes.
So what can you tell us about classic cars? I know you guys are involved in a car show every month. You each have classic cars. So what's that all about?
Yeah, Nick, go for it.
The origin story of my classic car obsession, I guess. Shout out to Obsessions Car Club of Tucson. It started with my friend Doug Tebow. He had a 69 Camaro RS SS 396, and it was garnet red with a houndstooth interior. It had a 4-speed manual. I think it was an M22 Rock Crusher. And
All right, nobody has a clue what that is, but okay, that's fine.
it's just a beautiful, beautiful muscle car.
V8
pony
man.
car.
I've seen.
It's a pony car technically, and I know muscle car enthusiasts probably don't like being called a pony car. I know there's some other people in this room that do drive pony cars. I like the full size muscle car.
I love the pony car.
But
I don't drive one.
basically, he got me into classic cars because he allowed me to be around all of his cars, and I cleaned them up, and I actually drove that Camaro around the neighborhood. Didn't even know what the heck I was doing. He was actually getting ready for Barrett Jackson car auction, so when all that was happening, I was learning about all these beautiful new cars. Well, new but old. He convinced us to get a classic car, like as our first car. And I was so afraid of driving. Didn't even get my. I don't even think I got my license till I was like 17. I was afraid.
You were too afraid to drive.
I was too afraid to drive.
It was embarrassing. I wanted to drive since I was like 8, and he was like 16, 17. He wouldn't drive.
By the way, for the listeners to make sure that they understand this, you're the father of these two kids.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yes.
I wanted to make that
So
distinction.
we were. Well, yeah. So he convinced us to get a car. We found a 1971 Chevelle Super Sport, cranberry red. Had the center console with the bucket seats, a 350. It was a 350 SS, and it was a clone though. And we had that for a year or so, and that's actually what put me in the driver's seat of a vehicle, was wanting to get in that classic car and drive it every day. And then we were lucky enough to sell it to a movie studio, and they used it in a movie called Drive Angry with Nicolas Cage and Amber Heard.
Oh, wow.
And so that just like
So that's a car you worked on.
yeah, that's the car. That was our first
Amazing.
classic car. So
And so why don't you let everybody know what happened to that car in the movie?
I don't know if they used it as the stunt. I'm sure they had multiple Chevelles because the movie budgets are massive. But they used it in a few chase scenes, and they wrecked it at the end, assuming. assuming. I don't know.
When I watched this movie for the first time with Nick, I just saw his bottom lip was quivering and he had tears in his eyes. It was very traumatic.
What happened to
for
that
him.
car?
I don't know. I don't know if Nick has it or what, but if Cage has that car, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you can find out.
Yeah, maybe it's somewhere out
Try
there.
to contact him?
No, no. But yeah, so that basically sums up the whole classic car obsession. Was we had our first car is a '71 Chevelle SS.
What do you have now?
What do we have now?
Each one. I want to hear what each one of you guys have now and why you have it.
So I got a '67 Riviera GS Grand Sport. Has a 430
It's a beautiful car.
big block.
I've seen it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a GS too. So it has this really cool like Star Wars air cleaner on there. It's all original. Original paint, original interior. I bought it with 47,952 miles on it. And the way I found it was I just went on Google and I typed in black 1967 Riviera GS, and then I was just clicking on random pictures, and I went on this website that archives like old eBay ads.
Yeah.
And this advertisement was 14 years old. And I
Was it in good condition?
Oh yeah, and it was. I called the number on there, and they still had it. They were getting ready to sell their estate, and they were like, "We're going to be selling it in like a month. Like, you want to buy it now?" And I video chatted them, and I shipped it. So I got that.
Where was the car?
It was in Colbert, Washington. So now I have so I have that, and I got a '96 Ford Bronco Sport, and that's pretty cool too. That one has a 351 Windsor. I like the '90s Broncos. There's like a sweet spot between old and new.
So you both have that passion for cars.
Yeah, and
right.
Matt has.
So hey, before
mine's
we
a-
wrap it up, I definitely want to hear about Matt's 2 cars that he currently
the
has.
2 cars. Long story short, Nick was talking about his Riviera, which I like, and
His baby.
Mind you, it had a broken starter when he got it, and the carburetor was all gunked up because it was like
Sitting for
super
20 years.
Yeah, so I had to put the starter in, and I put a new power wire from the battery to the starter because it was all corroded. But I got it running. Nick mechanically doesn't like doing stuff, but because of my bodybuilding passion, where I like building things like my muscles, I build my cars. So Nick likes to buy them and just drive them. That's his motto. I like to buy them where there's no windshield and there's no glass in it, and it's just
And just so everybody knows, if anything, if it has the word manual, like manual labor in front of it, Nick will disappear.
Yes, he will.
Like, okay, you guys know Jeremy Clarkson?
No.
He's from Top Gear Grand Tour. He's done so many programs. But he said it best. He's allergic to manual labor.
He's allergic to me. I'm allergic to
So-
bees.
I personally don't like to work on cars.
I love
I'm not
it.
a very handy person.
Yeah, it's actually not that bad
So
when you do it.
when you are immersed in that passion of, because I've seen you working on cars and you're like really into it, and I'm like, oh boy. So
Well, it's
seeing
just
you
like- it's
under
just
the
like-
car and and all these. So that passion.
Yeah, it's just like when you win the bodybuilding show and you want to be Mr. Universe. It's like you see the end goal, but you're doing all these little steps. It's like I'm eating 6 meals a day. I'm training every day. I'm doing my cardio every day. So you're doing everything to get to that goal, which is finishing the car. So you're
seeing it, feeling
you're
it,
seeing
and
it.
achieving
You're seeing it
Yeah,
before you even. I mean, because you're looking at a shell of a car.
Yeah.
It's like
But
people
when you
will see it and they think it's horrible.
So when you're looking at the shell of the car, you are seeing the end product.
Correct.
Okay, that's passion.
So
Yeah.
he built his Corvette from the ground up.
Yeah, it's a '78 Corvette with the big block, and then I drive a
Amazing.
Trans Am Firehawk.
So you both bring such unique energy in
Yes.
balancing music and craftsmanship and connection. It's very super inspiring to see 2 people so driven by their passion and their shared purpose. Is there anything you'd like to share with our listeners? Any upcoming music, events, or when they can follow with your music and the group Alien Atmosphere? How can they find you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so our socials, it's just Alien Atmosphere, all lowercase, or at Alien Atmosphere. Very easy to find us. We got a couple gigs lined up right now. We're playing a gig at The Rock, April 12th with the Black Moods. And then
Where's the Rock?
It's just
Is
south.
it downtown?
Yeah,
Okay.
downtown, just south of the U of A campus.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're going to be playing another show. I believe it's April 25th at Desert Diamond Casino up in is it Glendale?
Yeah, it's in Glendale.
Up in Glendale.
It's called Desert Diamond West.
Desert Diamond West. So yeah, we got a couple gigs lined up.
What
we're working on
what bands are with you at Desert Diamond West?
Ann Arbor.
Ann Arbor.
Ann Arbor.
Yep.
I can't
Big
remember.
Finish.
Big Finish. That's
Big
who it
Finish.
is.
And then you got one other band you forgot to mention.
Mr. King's, right?
Well, that's Mr.
Yeah,
K.
what's-
Yeah, but you forgot about Sophia Rankin. She's
Oh yeah,
going to be with you on
Sophia
April
Rankin's gonna
12th.
be, April 12th.
She plays a lot of Tucson gigs. She's really good.
So yeah, you can catch us at a couple gigs coming up here in April. We're going to have a lot more throughout the year. We're working on some new music. We're going to be releasing more music. So just be sure to follow us and you'll be up to date.
Your social media. And,
Yes.
okay.
Yes. Everything's at Alien Atmosphere.
Folks, I've seen these two guys perform, and they're just amazing. Not that I'm saying that because I know them, but I truly enjoy seeing and watching them. There's an incredible energy when you watch these two guys. So thank you, both of you.
Thank you.
again for being in the show. It's been a great pleasure. Anything you want to add to that?
Well, you know what?
Ken?
This is really important. As we go along, we have very lofty goals for this podcast. We want to reach as many people as we possibly can, and we want to thank everybody that are watching and listening. Me personally, I listen to probably podcasts more than I watch them, but I know a lot of people like to watch them as well. So please do us a favor. Like, subscribe, share this with your friends, anybody that you think could benefit from these inspirational messages and any kind of guests that we have. We'd really appreciate that you subscribe and ask them to subscribe as well. Okay, so we're going to see you next time on No Limits Life Podcast. Remember, where you are in your journey, your life has no limits, only possibilities.
Absolutely.
Follow your